You're juggling your work and your home life. It feels like it's never ending and you're trying not to drop any of those balls. Time's not your friend and the pressure is starting to get to you. The last thing you need is the added task of finding a mortgage. Get it wrong and all your hard work falls for nothing. But if you get it right, suddenly you're living your best life. Hi, I'm Jenny from Your Mortgage Hub, and I'm here to help those starting out or starting over with their mortgage applications by showing you what you should and shouldn't be doing when it comes to applying for a mortgage. I feel the pain of limited company directors. Being one myself, I understand. Look, you work all day. The last thing you want to do is come home and think about your mortgage. And I get that. I get that sometimes you feel that you get a raw deal because you have to prove your income more than someone who, say, is employed. And that simply just isn't fair. But there are some really great lenders out there who know and understand how limited company directors work and why we present the income in the way that we do. An example I have of a client was he'd been limited just over 2 years. His first year, he didn't take a lot home as it's expected, but his second year, he was absolutely smashing it out the park. But why would he want to pay massive amounts of tax when he didn't need to take the income? But he wanted that next level home. Therefore, we presented his income into the lender in a certain way, and that was we used his salary and his share of net profit. Now, he was a 100% director, and therefore we could use 100% of his share of net profit. But say you're only 25% or 50%, we're only going to be able to use that percentage. But in this case, we was able to use the whole of the net profit along with his salary, which meant he got that next level home without having to pay massive amounts of tax. And the way we do that is we get the accountant on side. They will write an accountant's certificate or an accountant's reference, whatever you want to call it. We submit that to the lender. Basically, they're confirming that your income is sustainable, that they verified it, and moving forward, it's a growing business. And that's really important. Now, when you've been at work all day, regardless of whether you're employed or you're limited company director, the last thing you want to think about is your mortgage. But it's really important, especially if you're a limited company director, that we get it right. Because there's so many lenders out there that will view them in different ways, and we need to match you to the right one. The person that's going to do that is, as always, your mortgage broker. So if you're a limited company director and you're looking for a mortgage, there is 4 things that you need to consider. Number 1, there's 2 types of lenders out there. You've got a lender that's going to look at your salary and your dividends, and you've got lenders who will look at your salary and your share of net profit. Now, my job as your mortgage broker is to work out what's the best one. So when you come to me, I will ask for your tax calculations and your overviews, because that's going to show me your salary and your dividends. And I'm also going to ask for your accounts, because then I can look at them and see if it's worth using your salary and your share of net profit. Sometimes using the salary and the share of net profit can get you a massive more on your mortgage amount, so you can borrow more and you don't have to pay that extra tax, because until you take it out of the business, it's not tax deductible. Number 2, again, 2 types of lenders. We can use your latest year of books, or we can average it over the last 2 years. Now, with COVID, sort of that's come, and hopefully that's on the way out. What we are seeing is we are seeing some directors, they've had a really good year pre-COVID, not a great year, COVID year, but actually now this year they're back up and running. And there's some really good common sense lenders that go, look, we know you had to shut for COVID, especially if sort of nail technicians, beauticians, even some tradesmen had to close down during that period. But now you're back up and running. We're going to ignore that, okay? And we're just going to look at the latest year's figures. And then there's the lenders that just look at the latest year's figures. Again, your accountant is going to verify your income. We're going to need them to show that it's sustainable moving forward. But if that's the case, potentially we can use the latest years. But your broker, like myself, will be able to tell you what's best, latest or an average of the 2 years. Number 3. It's a myth that if you are a limited company director, you need at least 2 or 3 years of books. You don't. You need 1 year of books and an accountant. Your accountant, again, is going to verify your income. As you can see, your accountant is massive to you getting the right mortgage at the right amount. But there are lenders out there that will look at 1 year of books, especially if you've got a history of working within that same industry. So don't think that because you've just decided to set up your business and you're absolutely booming, you can't get a mortgage, because you do have mortgage options. And number 4, leave it to the experts. Get a mortgage broker, okay? We search the whole of the market to find the right lender for you. We will look at all of your income, all of your outgoings, and we will match it correctly. That means you will get the best rates for your individual circumstances. So stick to doing what you do, which is whatever that trade is that you do, whatever your company does, and let us, the experts, deal with your mortgage. It's going to free up your time. It's going to make it a smoother, less stressful, and more enjoyable process. So the 4 things, if you're a limited company director, that you should be doing or you should be aware of is, number 1, we can use either your salary and your dividends or your salary and your share of net profit when we're presenting your income to the lender. Number 2, we can use your latest year's books, or we can use an average of the last 2 years, depending on what suits. And we can even look to ignore that COVID year. Number 3, you don't need 2 years of books. You need 1 year of books to get a mortgage. Okay, not all lenders offer 1 year of books, but there's some great lenders that do. And number 4, you need to leave it to the expert. Get yourself a mortgage broker who is whole of market, someone who you fully trust. We're going to search the market and find the right deal for you. So if you're a limited company director and you're looking for a mortgage, if you're looking to move home or even a remortgage, drop a comment below and we can have a chat to see how it's best to present your income and your circumstances to the lender. And as always, for more hints and tips on what you should and shouldn't be doing, check out my page.